What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man ChazzEllis once again. And I got a lot of ladies who ask me about why guys lose interest after the first date, why they don't get callbacks, or why people just kind of seem to change up on them after a first date. Well, a lot of it is the questions you ask. Sometimes you ask questions that really turn people off or make people kind of look at you sideways. So what I'm going to do is give you 5 questions that you should never ask on a first date if you want to keep the person interested, if you want to build things for the long term. Number 1, what are your intentions? I know people go, what? That's a great question. I should definitely ask that. But I always say don't ask questions that someone can't really be honest about, or questions that no one can really give you an honest answer to. What are your intentions? What the heck does that mean when a person doesn't even know you? You can ask them what their intentions are, but that doesn't have anything to do with you. They may have intentions on getting married within the next year. That doesn't mean that they're going to marry you. What you do when you ask somebody what their intentions are is put yourself in a position where you could be mad later. You told me you want to get married. Now you don't want anything serious? Yeah, not with you. So even if the person was telling the truth, they could never tell the truth to you specifically because they don't know you. And most people are going to lie anyway. What are they going to do? Yeah, my intentions are to smash tonight. Probably not going to call you. And then I'm going to try to holler at one of your friends. So the reality is you can't really get an honest answer. So you got to actually take time to figure out what their intentions are based on how they treat you and based on how the relationship is going. Asking that question does nothing but set you up to get your hopes up and have them dashed on the rocks. Number 2, do you have a job? Why would you ask somebody if they have a job? Most of the time, that is a backhanded question that's really designed to talk about your ex or say something negative about someone you dated in the past. Because the reality of the situation is, why would you be dating people who don't have a job? Let's be real. When you ask somebody, do you have a job? You're basically telling them that you've dated people with no job in the past. Why would somebody who has a really, really good job want to date somebody who's dated nothing but bums in the past? You have to understand, the questions that you ask tell people a lot about your past and about what you've been through. I know for a lot of y'all, you just can't help but try to take a crap on your ex, try to say everything was their fault and all those type of things. I get it. But as a rule of thumb, never try to hurt someone who's not even in the room. You usually end up hurting yourself. You become guilty by association. So if you say, do you have a job? And the person is sitting over here, CEO of a Fortune 500 company, they're going to be like, wow, what type of person have you dated in the past? And do I want a bum's leftovers? Because that's basically what you just categorized yourself as. That might hurt your feelings, but I'm here to keep it real with you so you can actually improve. So don't ask those type of questions. It doesn't help your situation at all. And if the person doesn't have a job, that's going to be pretty obvious by what they do in terms of paying for dates and things of that nature. So that's not something to even ask. You could ask, hey, what do you do for a living? You could ask things of that nature. There's different variations of that question that you could ask, but don't come out and try to do some backhanded thing toward the last guy you dated and go, do you have a job? Because my last man was broke. No, don't do it. Number 3, have you ever cheated? I know a lot of y'all like, what? I do want to know if they've ever cheated. I'm sure you do, but does that mean that they're going to tell you the truth? They're probably going to lie. What do you think they're going to say? Yeah, man, I cheated on every girl I ever dealt with in my whole life. I've been cheating for about 10, 15 years now. I am a cheater extraordinaire. I am the cheatingest cheater of all cheaters. Like, what do you think is going to happen? No, 9 times out of 10, the person's going to lie to you. 9 times out of 10, the person's going to bring up some old fake scenario or whatever. And even if they do tell you the truth, what does that have to do with you and your relationship? I know most of y'all like, once a cheater, always a cheater. You don't know that because you don't know who's cheated in the past. You don't know unless they tell you. So a lot of times what you do is you find yourself in a situation with the best liar. I don't ask questions that people would most likely lie about. If you do that, you're going to get lied to most of the time, and you'll probably end up believing the best liar, and that's who you'll end up with and be getting cheated on a couple months later. Number 4, Do you talk to anyone else? This is kind of like the asking them if they're a cheater thing. What do you expect them to say? I mean, they might keep it real with you and say they do talk to someone else, but is that a disqualifier? Of course they talk to somebody else. You were talking to somebody else before you went on this date. You just started talking to the person. They have no reason to not have anyone else they're talking to unless they don't have any other options because no one else likes them. So you're either dealing with somebody who nobody else wants or you're dealing with a liar. You're disqualifying people who are actually just keeping it real. Because anyone telling you that they don't talk to anyone, period, is either not desirable or lying because they just met you. So what were they doing before then? Number 5, am I your type? They're out on a date with you, right? So you may make the assumption that you are their type. You could ask questions about things like, hey, do you like this? Do you like that and that? And you could kind of figure out whether or not you're their type on a deeper level. But asking a question like, am I your type? Clearly they think that you're their type. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on a date with that person. They may not know everything about you to really say, are you the type of person that I want to be with in the long term? But you've got to ask questions about them and get to know them and be real with yourself to figure out if that's going to be the case. You can't just go, am I your type? Because that just seems like the most really insecure thing a person could say. Like, wow, dang, you would think I didn't like you? You know, you got to go on a date with a certain amount of confidence. You got to go on a date believing that the person likes you, believing that the person would like to be in a relationship with you, believing that you are actually a good catch and that people want to be with you. If you don't do that, most of the time you put yourself in a situation where you're just going to end up feeling bad and feeling like the person wasn't checking for you when you don't need to feel that way. Always go on a date assuming that the person likes you because they are out with you. Now, hopefully I was able to help you out. Once again, it's your man, ChazzEllis. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram at I am ChazzEllis. Peace.